Are you ready to kickstart your accounts payable career? In this video, I'll walk you through a beginner friendly guide for AP, perfect for freshers. At the end, I will share one bonus tip that can give you an edge in every interview.
Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video that I'm going to post in my YouTube channel. The video focuses on accounts payable beginner's guide. There is an ebook that I created. You can access it through my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll learn about what is accounts payable, what is procure to pay cycle, what are the daily tasks in accounts payable function, what are the key terms in accounts payable, and most importantly, what are the common interview questions that you can expect. And I've also tried to give you some sample answers for your help. And last but not the least, you're going to see what are the do's and don'ts of AP jobs. Welcome to your beginner friendly guide to accounts payable, which is known as AP, which is one of the most in demand roles in finance and accounting domain, especially in BPOs and shared service centers. What is accounts payable? Accounts payable refers to the department or function in an organization that is responsible for managing money it owes to the vendors and suppliers. If I have to talk in a layman language, this is a department or function that primarily takes care of all your payments that you are supposed to make for the purchases that you make. What is procure to pay cycle? Procure to pay cycle starts from the purchase requisition, which means you make a plan, you make a request of what you want to purchase. The second step is purchase order, where it means you create a document that is sent to vendor that contains all the details of the purchases that you want to make. Third is goods receipt, which means you made a plan to purchase, you issued a purchase order, and then now you receive the goods. The fourth step in this process is your invoice receipt, which means you receive an invoice for the goods that you received. And final step is to process payment for the goods that you received. What are the daily tasks in accounts payable function? It starts from invoice processing, and within invoice processing, there are two primary verticals, which is PO versus non PO invoice handling. We'll talk about it in future videos. The other one is duplicate invoice checks, matching invoices with POs and GRNs. About GRNs, we'll talk later in this video. And supporting vendor queries, running payment batches, and then finally the reconciliation process. What are the key terms in accounts payable? Some of the important key terms in accounts payable is one, invoice, which is bill that you receive from a vendor. Second one is purchase order that you issue, which is document to authorize a purchase. Third step is the GRN, which is called goods receipt note, which means any goods that you receive, it's a confirmation or a document that confirms that you received these goods. Fourth one is three-way match, which is your PO plus invoice plus GRN match. The fourth step here, the fifth step here is the TDS, tax deducted at source, which means this is a portion of money that the payer will be holding, which has to be paid to the government. And the final step is the aging report, which shows a report that contains multiple data sets. For example, if you want to know how many vendors you want to make payment for, what are the total payable balances, when are they due, etc. Now comes the most exciting and important part of this video, the common interview questions. Some of the common interview questions that you can find from this section of the AP is, what is a three-way match? Three-way match, it's a process of comparing the purchase order, the invoice, and the goods receipt note to ensure accuracy before making the payment, which means when you get an invoice, the invoice has to contain a purchase order that you can tie back. And also, in your ERP system, you should be able to see whether the invoice you have received, you also receive goods for it. The other question that you can expect from this section is, what do you do if you receive a duplicate invoice? there are very good chances that the vendor or the supplier sends you two invoices for the same products that you have received. So it is important for you to make sure that there are no duplicate payments and the duplicate invoice processing. So the question I'll repeat for you: what do you do if you receive a duplicate invoice? The way you can answer is we identify it using invoice numbers, vendor details, and raise it to clarification and avoid duplicate payments. The other question in this section you can expect is how do you handle an invoice with no PO? There are a lot of use cases where you get an invoice without a purchase order and you will not be able to refer it back that the invoice that you receive is against what product that you receive. So it's an important question that you can expect. So I'll repeat that question. How do you handle an invoice with no PO? The way you can answer is we receive, we verify and validate and route it to the manual approval process of the company, which means every organization has a process for managing such invoices. The other question that you can expect is what is the risk in AP? Since this process involves the monetary transaction of the organization, it is a very critical process of uh, any organization. So every transaction that you do from AP point of view has always a risk. Right? So one of the important questions that you can expect is what is the risk in AP? The way you can answer is the duplicate payments, frauds, incorrect entries, missing approvals. The way you can uh, protect or eradicate the risk in AP is by controls like three-way match process and system validations, which helps prevent these kind of risks. Now let's talk about do's and don'ts. What are the important do's and don'ts in AP function? Do's: whenever you process a transaction or an invoice, verify all documents before payment, maintain vendor communication records, use checklists to ensure there is accuracy. Now let's talk about what are the don'ts that you should be doing. Don't process an invoice without approval process. Don't ignore system alerts or mismatches. Don't delay escalation of issues. Thank you very much for watching this video and subscribe to my channel to keep getting more videos and alerts of this learning journey.
Now you know the basics of accounts payable. But here's the bonus tip I promised. Always link each AP process steps to how it impacts company's cash flow. It shows interviewers you are understanding the bigger picture. For more training like this, explore my full APAR series. It's like having your personal interview coach for free.